students, welcome back to the chapter 9 Strategies for Enhancement in Food Production. In the previous video, we discussed about dairy farm system and poultry farm system. Today, in this video, that is lecture 3, we'll discuss animal breeding and techniques of animal breeding. First of all, what is animal breeding? It is a scientific method of mating, crossing two selected animals with the two different desirable characters so as to get both the characters in one animal. Why we have to do animal breeding? What are the objectives? We go for animal breeding to increase the milk yield with respect to the dairy industry, to improve quality of animal production in terms of proteins and vitamins, then to develop early maturing breed. If the breeds mature early, they'll start giving milk in case of dairy, or they'll start laying egg in case of poultry. To develop breeds with a high efficiency of food utilization, that whatever food they are consuming, they should utilize that, and maximum amount of milk or egg should be given by the animals which are taken care. So to get all these benefits, we are doing animal breeding. So for animal breeding, the first most important character will become selection. Before we allow two animals to undergo crossing, we have to select the animals. What is a selection? It is a process in which certain individuals in the populations are selected with the desirable characters and are included in the cross to become the parents of the next generation. So we are going to select a good character having male and good character superior female, and we allow both of them to undergo mating. So that is called selection. So what different systems we have adapted so as to improve the quality and also the quantity of the yield? Let us try to understand. Animal breeding can be systematically categorized into inbreeding and outbreeding. So there are two systems, inbreeding and outbreeding. What is inbreeding? Inbreeding is mating of animals within the same breed with a common ancestor for about 4 to 6 generations. So same breed, same species with common ancestor, if it is allowed for reproduction, then it is called animal breeding. For how many generations it should be allowed? For 4 to 6 generations. Continuous inbreeding for about 4 to 6 generation will reduce fertility and also the productivity. So the cattle may not give birth to young one, and their production, that is milk yield or egg laying capacity, may get decreased. If that happens, then it is called inbreeding depression. Okay, so to overcome from this inbreeding depression, we have adapted outbreeding. So that we will see later. Now if we want to preserve the main important character of the cattle, then we can go for inbreeding only another type called as line breeding. What is line breeding? To preserve and to concentrate the good qualities of the ancestor, the original characters of the ancestor, inbreeding with individuals related to the ancestor will be practiced, and such mating is called line breeding. Now as I said, line breeding or inbreeding may lead to the inbreeding depressions. So prior to that, let us try to understand advantages of inbreeding and line breeding. What are the advantages? By inbreeding, we are going to develop a pure homozygous animal. You know the meaning of homozygosity. Genetically pure animal can be obtained by inbreeding. Second one, it may result in the appearance of recessive character. So by inbreeding we will get good recessive character. The disadvantages of inbreeding and line breeding are continuous inbreeding, especially in close relative, reduces fertility and even productivity. If there is reduction in the fertility and productivity, then it is called inbreeding depression. So this 2 to 3 times in the board exam, what is inbreeding depression? What you have to write? Continuous inbreeding which reduces the cattle's fowl's fertility and productivity is called inbreeding depression. So whenever such problems we face, we should stop inbreeding and should start the cattle to undergo outbreeding. So what is outbreeding then? It is the mating of unrelated animals belonging to different breeds or same breed with or without a common ancestor. So we can do the cross between the same or a different breed of the animals with or without a common ancestor. Between the same species we can do, or between different species also the crossing can be done. So the breed can be same or breed can be different, the species can be same or the species can be different. So this method is used in cattle to increase milk production and to make the calves to grow fast and to attain puberty in a early age, and the lactation milking period should be extended minimum to 10 months. So to do all these things we are doing outbreeding. So outbreeding is classified into 3 types, or 3 more scientific approaches are there in the outbreeding. The first one is called outcross, the second one is called crossbreeding, whereas the third one is called as interspecific hybridization. So let's try to understand these 3 one by one. So let's take the first one, that is outcross. What is outcross? Here in this outcross, animals are mated within the same breed. See, the same species, same breed for 4 to 6 generation, but they are not with the common ancestor. Say for example, Hallikar from one state and Hallikar which is developed and grown in the other state. So like that, they are without common ancestor. Their pedigree will not match. Okay, so such organisms, if they are breed, then it is called as outcross. Okay, best method for the cattle, this is which are below average milk production and growth rate of the beef. So outcrossing, by doing this we can improve the milk production, and also the cattle will be with a good quantity of meat, that is beef. Okay, milk production and beef are the 2 important things which we have improved with the help of outcrossing. This can be asked for 1 mark. What are the advantages of outcrossing? So you have to write, by outcrossing we have improved milk production and growth rate of beef. Now second one, crossbreeding. So breed is crossed here. That means here we allow the mating between superior males of one breed with the superior females of the another breed. Breeds are different, species is same. So say red Sahiwal is made to cross with the Jersey. So breed only is different. Then if it is done, then it is called as cross breeding. Crossbreeding allows desirable qualities of the 2 different breeds to get combined in the new offspring. So Hisar Dale is said to be one of example which we have produced by crossbreeding. It is a sheep which is produced by crossing one merino ram with the Bicanary Eves. So this is also 2 to 3 times is asked in the board exam. So write a note on Hisar Dale, or write the parents of the Hisar Dale. Merino rams and Bicanary Eves is a Hisar Dale. Interspecific hybridization. Here we allow the mating of animals of 2 different and related species, that is species only is different here. For example, donkey is made to cross with the horse. So if we allow the donkey cross with the horse, then it is called inter, means between, specific means species, two different species are crossed. So that is called interspecific hybridization. The new young one which is produced by the cross of donkey with the horse is called as a mule. Okay, so we discussed animal breeding. It is a scientific method of crossing the animals of a same or a different breed, or the same or a different species with or without common ancestor, to get good desirable character in the next offspring. So let's try to understand the summary. Animal breeding is classified into two categories. Just now we have understood in this video. The first one is called inbreeding, whereas the second one is called as outbreeding. In inbreeding we understood line breeding to preserve ancestral characters. Inbreeding will be practiced in one line, that is in line breeding. Whereas we understood by inbreeding or line breeding there will be inbreeding depression. So to overcome that we go for outbreeding. Outbreeding is classified into three types, and they are outcrossing, the second one is called crossbreeding, and the third one is called interspecific hybridization. Okay, so this is a brief idea about animal breeding. Now let us try to understand different techniques of animal breeding. In the previous slides, we understood different method technology like inbreeding, outbreeding, outcross, crossbreeding, and interspecific hybridization. Whereas still more advancements are done in the field of animal breeding. What are those advancements? Those things we are going to understand under a heading techniques of animal breeding. There are n number of techniques present, but we are going to discuss only two. In that, the first one is called artificial insemination. So students, you have studied human reproduction topic, so insemination process. Semen is a fluid wherein sperms will be bathed, and that semen, if it is inserted into the female reproductive tract by other than natural mating, then it is called artificial insemination. So what we do here, we are going to collect the semen from the superior male cattle. We can extend the quantity by adding the egg yolk or by adding pasteurized milk, and if we need we can store in liquid nitrogen at minus 192 degrees Celsius, and whenever we need that will be taken in the catheter. So this is catheter which he is hand holding, and with the help of the catheter the semen will be inserted into the female reproductive tract by expert technician. Okay, so this method is called artificial insemination. The technique of inseminating a breed female by other than natural mating is called artificial insemination. So in this process we have to collect a semen of a selected superior male, and this semen is deposited in the reproductive tract of a female at the proper time of a reproductive cycle. So that is artificial insemination. Now coming to next technique, that is called multiple ovulation and embryo transfer. As the name suggests, multiple ovulation. Ovulation is a process where ova will be released from the ovary. So usually one or two ovas will be released per month, as we know. But we are going to here increase number of ovulation, that is ova number will be increased. Instead of one, the female cattle is made to produce 6 to 8 ovum. So that process is called multiple ovulation. After multiple ovulation, it will be inseminated, or it will be allowed to mate with the superior male, and then after the pregnancy, embryos at proper interval of a time will be transferred into the surrogate mother. So this whole technique is called multiple ovulation and embryo transfer. You can go through question paper, students. This is asked more than 3 to 4 times in the board exam. So this is an important aspect. Multiple ovulation and embryo transfer can also be called as super ovulation and embryo transfer. So what are we going to do? In this technique, the cow is forced to ovulate more eggs and fertilize the eggs in vitro and then transfer eggs to the uterus of surrogate mother. So how are we going to do that? We are going to understand. It involves the following steps. Steps involved in MOET, which is multiple ovulation and embryo transfer, are asked for 5 marks many a times. So first step, the cow is administered with FSH. So as you know, FSH stands for follicle stimulating hormone. So once we administer the cow with FSH, the female cow will start producing many ovules instead of 1 or 2. So this is called as first step, that is administration of the hormone. Now the cow will produce 6 to 8 eggs instead of 1 egg per cycle. The female is allowed to mate with the selected bull naturally, or it will be artificially inseminated. So we have understood artificial insemination. With the help of the catheter, the semen can be collected from the male and that will be inserted into the female reproductive tract. By either of these two processes, female is made to mate with the male. After that, the fertilized eggs, at 8 to 32 celled stage will be removed non-surgically through the that is retrovaginal method, and then they are examined. After examination, each one of the egg which will be there will be transferred to surrogate mother surgically or non-surgically for further development. So if we will examine all the 8 eggs at 8 to 32 celled stage, say all the 8 eggs are healthy, then 8 surrogate mothers will be selected which will be with the superior quality, and these eggs will be embryos, I can say. These embryos will be transferred into those reproductive tract of those surrogate mother. We can do this surgically or non-surgically by once again using retrovaginal method, by using the catheter with the help of the expert technician. So these are the 5 important steps. After the 5th step, what happens? The pregnancy in surrogate cow is confirmed by palpitation through the rectal wall, and that is followed by the delivery of the calf. So this technique of MOET, that is multiple ovulation and embryo transfer, is demonstrated in many animals like cattle, sheep and buffaloes, etc. High milk yielding of a female have been bred successfully. So with the help of this method, we have improved quantity and quality of the milk yield using MOET. And the most important thing, also used to increase herd size. Herd size, you shouldn't forget, students. As for 1 mark, this question is asked many a times. What is the advantage of MOET for 1 mark? So you have to write that the method is used to increase herd size, that is the number of animals. So this is a technology called as MOET, and also we discussed artificial insemination. So these are the few examples of dairy industries, and for the increase in the milk, the increase in the production of the milk by the cattle is called White Revolution, and Vergis Kurin, father of White Revolution. So in this video we discussed about animal breeding and also techniques of animal breeding, whereas in the next video we will try to understand apiculture and fishery. Thank you.